Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
And we're back. Special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. MMA fighter, and I'd say philanthropist. Does that work?
Philanthropist?
That works?
Yeah.
Works?
Philanthropist.
Yeah, it sounds like a sexual position.
Yeah. Full-on rapist.
Full-on rapist.
Full-on
Yeah.
rapist.
Dude.
It does.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Valentine.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. I've watched the show for a while, and I'm excited to be on. So
Oh,
thank you
man,
so much.
thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. So, I just want to kind of jump right into it. You got a fight coming up, sir.
I do, November 9th.
Ooh, and you are fighting the only person that you've ever lost to in your whole career.
Correct. Mr. Rowdy, the senior citizen Akers.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's a
Right?
jab. That's a grudge match. That
Yeah.
sounds like a grudge match.
Technically his name, but yeah.
Okay, so let's give us some background. What happened the first time you guys fought?
So Rowdy was an amazing mentalist, right? So we think of the all the people in the sport. We think of the Conor McGregors. We think of all those people. And it was supposed to be my retirement fight. And he did exactly what he had planned to do, which was get underneath my skin. So he started that social media brigade months before, the trash talk, all that.
Brilliant.
And I've been pretty much immune to that for years. But for whatever reason, this guy got underneath my skin. And on that night, I completely abandoned my game plan. And Mr. Rowdy Akers did an amazing job. I think 35, you can see in that picture, 35 elbows,
Jeez.
4 or 5
shit.
straight knees, and
So we'll have it up
I mean,
for
it's
our
going to be
for our YouTube
We don't know how.
viewers.
Pretty
Yeah,
gross.
maybe YouTube might.
I'll just give you guys a bit of a bit of just a hashtag.
iVagina.
Yeah, it says-
iVagina.
it actually says
you could-
hashtag iGina.
You could
iGina.
have sex with
iGina.
the
You can
whole
actually
thing.
see it.
You can actually, I mean,
can.
See
before the show,
inside.
Yeah.
he
There
was
is a
quoted
giant
and saying,
vagina.
So
Above.
I spent a week in the hospital. I lost my speech for a week. I could only text.
No,
Oh,
you
shit.
couldn't.
Yes.
You couldn't talk.
Could not talk for a week.
Is
Is
that
that families come? People are
"Whoa,
coming to visit you.
Hold on, fuck all that. You want to fight this guy again?
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
we're doing it for free. It's for the troops.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Okay, cool,
That's a good
cool.
cause, right?
Yeah,
Where-
it's an excellent call.
So where is this fight?
This fight's live from Las Vegas, Sam's Town, November 9th, for the troops. It's my 4th year fighting, and we've kind of talked shit back and forth since that fight, and we're excited to get in and fucking settle the score and make it happen for the troops. So
This is your 4th year fighting for.
co-main event.
This-
I've been the co-main event for Randy Couture's charity event for 4 years running,
Oh, shit.
and the event, at least on the grappling circuit. When I say me, it's our team. Anybody who supports me, we've held the record for the last 10 years of the most ticket sales in excess of, I'm probably guessing $50,000.
Damn.
Ooh,
and that money
let's
goes.
go.
That's grappling. That's not that's
Yeah.
submission grappling.
Yeah, let's go.
And that money goes right to the troops.
100% to the troops. Randy actually writes $10,000 checks to the veterans at the conclusion of the event. He shows up on the door, knocks on the door, thank you for your service, and hands $10,000 checks
To their house.
to their house.
Goes to their house.
House.
Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah,
He's showing
it's
up with
interesting.
big checks.
The last fight, I went out to the veterans home thinking I was going to give out free tickets. You know, I didn't do my research and realize that most of those guys at the veterans home are not going to be going to a fight.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
they're older, World War II.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving all the tickets to the staff, and I said, "Hey, can you send somebody out from the foundation to show up?" So I'm sitting there waiting. I'm thinking it's a photographer or somebody.
Yeah.
And car pulls up and it's Randy Couture.
Oh,
Fucking Randy Couture pulls out. He's got a hat on. He's like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, hi, Randy. I'm on your board." And he walked around for about 2 hours, took as many pictures as people wanted, didn't want any media. That was the only thing. So it sort of tells you what he's about.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
What the foundation's about. And walked around for 2 hours taking pictures with veterans, listening. Not just saying, "Hey, tell me about your story," but actually listening, asking questions. And so it's amazing what he does.
You know, that's honorable because a lot of people you see, like celebrities especially, like, yeah, I want media here. I want to get the world out, but also like kind of selfishly, getting like, hey, I'm doing this for somebody.
Especially in this day and age of social media, a lot of people seems like they're just doing things just to get that recognition. They're
Or to
giving
get
a
hits
burger
or
to
something.
giving a
Fur
burger to a
coats.
bum,
Yeah.
but they're filming it.
They're
This
filming
is,
it.
I mean, let's go, Randy Couture, man. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
see you.
It's
All right,
amazing.
that's cool.
And he's, what is he on? He was actually filming what Expendables movie was the last
39.
one?
Number
39.
17.
He was
Yeah.
actually filming at the gym. They were doing martial arts scenes, and he left the filming of that movie to come meet me, a guy on his board he'd never met, just to hand out tickets.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, that's
kind of
amazing.
tells you what he's about, right?
Hell
Yeah.
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 So let's go back to this fight. How long ago was that you guys fought?
2017. He actually post that fight helped me prepare. He came down and trained with me for the World Jiu-Jitsu Championships. I fought 2 other super fights. He walked me out. But even when he stayed with me, we were just always talking shit in the backyard, having a beer. Post my fight, I snapped the other guy's ankle like 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Post his fight. And the guy went to the hospital. We were in the backyard. He's like, yeah, but I'd still kick your ass. So it's this ongoing barrage of male dick waving and ego.
Yeah,
that I gotta
pissing
test.
contest
Yes.
happens. I love that.
And maybe it's bigger than mine. I don't know. We're going to find out on November 9th. That's for fucking sure.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, this is going to be great to watch a pissing match and a fight.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Be good.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So let's go into like your past. What kind of got you into MMA? How'd you get started?
So I started out as a kickboxer in college. There was a little flyer, and I'm going to say quad because I'm old as fuck.
Okay.
So-
There's still quads, dude.
Still
That's okay.
quads.
Yeah,
Still
there's
quads.
quads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you go to college.
Kids don't call them quads anymore.
Right? So I was
Yeah.
going to UNLV. I was wrestling on that team. They just eliminated the wrestling program, Title IX. No more wrestling.
Right.
And I needed money for tuition. I saw a fucking flyer. And by the way, I'll put it out here on national TV or wherever this goes. It's been out there. It's probably in the print anyways. I've never been in a street fight. So any fight I've ever been in has always been inside a cage. So technically, I ain't got no street cred.
Yeah.
Basically a
Yeah.
bitch.
That just means you're not a dick, John. That just means you're not a
Basically
dick.
a
thing to
bitch
do.
in short shorts.
No, I
So I grabbed the flyer off. It said it paid $500. I went to a local gym in Las Vegas for a pro fight and got the shit kicked out of me. Got knocked out with a flying knee and started my kickboxing career and got into wrestling. And then I started training fighters at the early time. My first jiu-jitsu class was with Frank Mir.
Wow.
And he was a blue belt. And there was UFC. He wasn't even in the UFC yet. I was training UFC fighters for takedowns and coaching wrestling, and then I just got pushed into it when I was in my 30s. I'd graduated college and fat as fuck and had to find something to do.
Yeah. So
it's good.
we were talking about kids earlier. I got, if you guys don't know, Espejo is having a.
Oh yeah, I just found out.
Congratulations.
Just
Thank
found
you.
out he's having
A baby girl.
baby
Yeah.
girl.
twins.
Over the
Not
weekend.
twins.
No, not twins. If they
Yeah.
come out twins, they're not mine. I'll know.
Yeah.
Because I don't have no twins. Like
Yeah.
if they come out Asian or any type, but not
What
like,
if they look like him?
then I'm super suspect.
Yeah, he was already super
Yeah,
suspect.
I'm like,
anyway. Yeah. So then we were talking about kids earlier, and I understand you have 4 boys.
I do.
4. Jesus Christ, man.
Were you shooting for a girl? Or was
No.
it boys?
I was going for a girl and got twins, and they said, "Congratulations, there's 2 heartbeats." I'm like,
Gee.
I'm sorry, what was that 2 heartbeats? Yeah, so
Jesus
that's 4
Christ.
college funds, 4 cars,
Damn.
What are the ages here we're looking at?
13, 12, and I have twins that are 9.
Jesus Christ, bro.
And are these all MMA killers like yourself?
They are not. 3 are MMA killers. One is has an alternative lifestyle and loves to do other things, which is great. Makes him just as beautiful and special in his own way. He loves to dance. He is actually a cheerleader, and so he does his own thing. He
At
was-
9 years old?
Yeah,
9?
he's been that, and I'm not afraid to say it. We'll talk about it, and I
Yeah.
know we talked about it before, but
Yeah.
he likes things that are feminine, and that's his dig. And he's the happiest probably of all my 4 fucking kids.
Wow.
Yeah, he's actually a cheerleader. He wears a cheerleading outfit. He's actually a cheerleader for the other 9-year-old who plays flag football.
No, for his
and
twin
they're
brother.
twins?
What's that?
And they're the twins, right?
Twins.
He's a cheerleader for his
God,
twin
that's
brother
got-
who
dude,
plays.
There's a
And
sitcom in there somewhere.
He is a tough motherfucker.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like you put those 2 together, he'll whoop some ass. Wearing a dress or not, he'll fuck some shit up.
So like he just likes to
He's
dresses
always
up.
been. He's always been. We thought it was that, right? We thought it was dress up at 3. There wasn't a lot of. He doesn't have any sisters, so there's nobody. He's learning to wear makeup or learning to wear a dress, and that's just the path he chose. And you have 2 fucking choices, right? We can I can try to mold him into some shit that that he's not, and then he's gonna grow up depressed and fucking thinking he's not worthy of what he's feeling, or you just let him be his own fucking self.
And he just happened to have a badass dad that let him do that.
Yeah, it's a tough transition, right? Like for my family and
how did you have the open mind to understand that though?
You know,
like,
we went to a counselor, transgender counselor, who was actually looked like a female, was a male, and said, "What can I do?"
Like hot?
Pretty hot, yeah.
All right.
Nice little, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Probably D's.
I'm down.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could hit them like speed bags. I mean, they weren't like they weren't like a Percocet. They weren't like they weren't bad.
No, I'm still in. I'm in. I'm down.
Would it help you if I told you like why he was talking to me? He was like rubbing himself.
No, that wouldn't help.
All right. So he just said, I said, "Hey, what can we do?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What you can do?" And I said, "Well, what can you do?" And he's like, "You can't do anything. Just you're this session's for you. It's not for him.
Whoa.
Right.
We're not." And that was sort of a epiphany for me to go, that is true. All I can do is teach him life skills. All I can do is teach him how to respond to that. And let's be honest, at the end of the fucking day, my 3 other kids are national jiu-jitsu champions.
Jeez.
If you you fuck with one of them, you're gonna have to
They're-
fuck
yeah,
with
all of
3
them.
brothers.
Yeah, those twins are going to come
Good luck
down
with
on
that.
you hard.
Good luck with that shit. Right? So
Oh my God. Well, I gotta say this. I look forward to the fight. We're gonna go on break. Do you want to stick around for MMA talk?
I'd love to.
Let's
Love
go.
to.
We'll be right back after this. And we're back with special guest John Valentine. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for sticking
Appreciate it.
around.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Ooh, this sounds weird. Okay, test. All right, cool. All right, let's do some MMA talk. Bellator, Dublin. Did anyone see Michael Venom Page fucking just do
that
Michael Venom
knee?
Page shit? I think Michael Venom Page can do anything he wants to against anybody who does not have a name.
That's the problem with that fight.
He's a tomato can smasher, I think you said in the text.
Yeah,
I like that.
I actually said tomato can smasher, deleted tomato, just said can smasher. Still feels disrespectful to say that. You know, it still feels disrespectful for a guy who's 3-1 to fight a guy who's 15.
Whoa. That guy was 3-1?
3-1, dude.
Get the fuck
3-1.
out of here.
MVP is 15-1. Only lost once to fucking.
Why is he fighting no names?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Like he could have fought someone else, but Bellator brought him all the way down to this brand new guy. So tons of shit talk back and forth. I get that this guy who's 3-1 wants to sell the fight against Michael Venom Page. I understand that MVP likes to talk trash, but dude. What else
That
was
shouldn't
going to
even happen. That shouldn't even.
Yeah.
You know what? That should never happen.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why
It's just
people
not
work
okay.
their way up in the ranks.
Yeah.
Just so that
It's
you
not
don't get up there and fucking Michael Venom Page fucking crush your skull
And
in.
here's
fucking
the
to
problem
hell.
with MVP. Like he really didn't destroy anyone with a big name. Then he got Douglas Lima, who's the biggest name.
And then got
Lima
knocked the
destroyed him
fuck
pretty
out.
quickly. And then they just dropped him back down to no. Like, dude, like there's a middle ground. There's,
You know
there's
what, though?
someone else. It
Can I-
wasn't fair.
can I be
dude.
honest?
I just felt bad for the guy.
The evil part of me is like, I want to keep seeing this happen.
Of course, and I'm sure Michael Venom Page wants to keep seeing
Yeah,
that
I mean,
happen.
dude, the way that
everybody
he is
wants-
knocking people
You
out.
want to see the destruction.
Yes.
Right.
The way that he's knocking people out, I just want to keep seeing it. He looks cool doing it. And like he's always like with a walk away. How does he know that person's out? Like he did a flying knee and then just
He walks
literally
away.
walked away from
Dude,
it.
he
which
does the
was
walk away.
15
impressive.
and 1
Can you
with
play that?
massive
Do we have
I
that
was
game?
looking for it. Let me see if I can find
Here,
it.
that's
when
fine.
you're
That's fine.
15-1
That's fine.
and you knock
I
people
got
out
it
with
here.
flying knees for fun, and you're fighting a guy who's 3-1, you know when that guy who's 3-1 is
Oh, yeah, for sure.
is going out.
He was
with
playing
that
with
flying
him.
knee. Yeah,
Yeah, he
it
was
just-
the whole time.
Toying with him.
It was cool, and then it was like, oh, that's not cool. Like that's just
So Wes, when you're looking at the records and you're thinking tomato can, what do you, for you as an analyst, what are you looking at? Are you looking for an equal record? Or are you looking at what are you looking at to say, hey, this is the guy who's equal caliber status?
So at something close to a similar
Something-
record,
yeah.
But with MVP, he's a superstar at Bellator. He's a superstar in Bellator.
Sure.
This guy that he fought, never heard of him. Why haven't I heard of him? Because he's had 4 professional fights.
Yeah.
He's
And
had 4. MVP has won 14 straight fights in a row, undefeated until his very last fight, and he fought another Bellator badass, and they tossed him this 3 and
Yeah.
3, you know,
Which
And
was- which
so
is
that's
kinda
why it's so
fucked up.
unfair. So it's unfair to
didn't
call him
know
a
that.
tomato can. The guy's 3-1. If you've had 4 fights and you've won 3 of them, like you're feeling pretty good about yourself. You don't want to be called a fucking tomato can. You
Yeah.
know?
Up until you fight the guy. who's facing
Until you
Until you
fight
fight.
fucking a guy who's
Exactly. And
gonna
then
walk away,
God
knee you
damn.
in the
Well,
face.
it makes you wonder if they're actually doing it just so they can have dramatic knockouts, which creates ratings.
Oh, that's what
and-
Bellator.
and-
There's
and-
no.
It
Now
is.
that
Oh, yeah.
Wes has just told me
Yeah.
that,
There's
there's actually
no-
zero
Yeah.
doubt in my
That's
mind that that's what they're
exactly
doing.
what's going on.
Dude, the next person Michael Venom Page is fighting is a toddler. He's fighting a baby.
Yeah.
He's just gonna straight fight a baby.
And your baby comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Coker.
I'm gonna
Dude,
put my baby in there.
Scott
Scott
Hill's
Coker
brand
actually
new- yeah.
call me and he's like,
He's
"Hey,
like,
I heard you're
I
having
heard
a
you're
baby girl."
having a
Yeah.
Is she ready to fight in
Yeah.
February?
Yeah, yeah.
But it was a beautiful flying knee.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
most controversy was that they were talking massive amounts of shit before the fight, during the fight,
And after
while
the
they
fight.
were going in the fight. I forget the guy's name. Sorry, Mr. Tomato Can. I forget your name.
It's called,
he
his name is
He throws the
Ragu.
finger in while they're fighting. He throws the finger. Dan Murgliata stops the fight,
for the
deducts
finger?
a point,
For a finger?
warns the guy, throws the finger, then stops the fight, deducts a point from Michael Venom Page. This
Why?
is the first round for the shit talking. Dan Murgliata is not happy about the fact that they are shit talking.
That's
what we
whack.
don't know until after the fight is that after the fight when MVP's moving around and dancing, Dan Murgliata turns around, pushes him away, calls him a piece of shit. Get the fuck out, piece of shit.
I heard
then-
MVP talk about that at the
yeah,
post-fight
so
press
afterwards,
conference.
MVP's like, I don't know what's going on. He called me a piece of shit and pushed me away. Also, I never met the guy before. One of my first fights that he reffed, I'm walking in, I'm feeling good. I'm a showman. I got my sunglasses on, and he looks at me and says, "Take your fucking sunglasses off. You're not a rock star." So obviously,
man, come on.
Dan
Yeah,
Murgliata
come
has
on.
something
He felt a way about it.
about
Here-
MVP.
Here's the explanation right here.
Dan, for me, has a personal issue with me. I don't know where it comes from. My second Bellator fight, I was walking down the ramp.
Second
backstage,
Bellator
and I
fight.
remember You're trying to get yourself into the zone. Everyone knows me. I'm a showman. I came out with my glasses, and he's like, "Take them off. It's not Hollywood." Now, this is the first time I've ever met him. Didn't know. And straight away, I felt a bit rubbed up the wrong way, but just let it go. Took my glasses off and carried on. Put on a show. And now to see that again, that was disgusting. Not only.
Wow.
It's a bummer. So here's the weird thing. So even Robin Black said afterwards, you know what? It's not the ref's job to jump in for showmanship. If you want to fuck with the guy's head, like you mentioned earlier, that's all
correct.
part of the game. If you
It
want to fuck,
is.
yeah, you want to get in
Dude,
the guy's
if
head.
you want to talk shit to him, if you want to flip him off, remember when Nate has somebody in a fucking... Nate has someone literally in a full... what was it? What submission was it that he had him in when he's like flipping him off?
leg triangle. I think it was a leg.
I think he had him a
leg lock or triangle.
One of those
triangle.
moves.
Triangle,
Yeah, but even that, like his brother got laid down on the ground and went like
And
this, fighting
is
Anderson
part of
Silva.
and they use that to promote future fights.
So crazy as it sounds, they're in Ireland, Copenhagen, England or Ireland.
No, they're not. They're in
Ireland.
Dublin, Ireland.
Okay, they're in Ireland, right? So Ireland is not, it's not covered by like NIC, like
It's its
the
own
normal.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who runs that says we have our specific rules here. One of the rules is that you treat everyone with respect. That you
Weird. Connor
Yeah,
comes
Connor.
out.
Connor's
Everything-
bunching old people. over there.
Strange. So homeboy who got knocked out got fined $1,000 for throwing the bird.
That's lame.
And the commissioner said, "I'm glad Dan did that, and I want to do it again." So
Dude, I found
showboating, not in Ireland,
Oh, I guess
anywhere
not.
else. I
Really?
guess.
That's
I
ironic.
found
Very
out-
strange.
Yeah, very strange.
fucking
Yeah.
strange.
Dude, I found out how much like some people on this show got paid for that fight, for the Bellator fight, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was fucking crazy.
Like Peanuts crazy or like
Fucking what's less the shell?
Oh
no.
Fighters, you mean?
Yeah.
Like
Really?
who? Like some of the undercard.
Yeah, some-
fighters?
yeah.
Some of their
I
fighters?
bet
What's
some of
that?
the, I bet
So
some
maybe-
of the, I bet some of the other cards were under $2,500.
Less than that.
$1,000
less than $2,500.
That's so
I'll say this: one of them was 15 to show, 15 to show, 15 to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at some of the UFC cards, the
This
ones
is
that aren't televised,
Bellator.
they're making
Nothing.
Even the UFC
2,500
cards, they're making
bucks.
25, 25.
25.
Yep, and they can't even have sponsors.
I cannot-
I think Bellator
Without
tries
sponsors.
to.
Yeah, at least Bellator
tries
has
to get away with it
sponsors.
by allowing
Yeah.
them sponsors, but that's all on them.
Yeah, God, think
know?
about that. You're still losing money doing that.
Oh, 100%. Dude, you're in like in camp for 3, 6, 4 months.
Well, first off, you're losing 20%, right? So you're
Yeah.
losing
To what?
10% to
To
your manager,
your manager.
10% to your coach,
And then taxes.
to your gym taxes, no insurance.
Dude,
you probably
you-
busted your fucking leg.
Yeah, you're
along
leaving
the
with
way.
your dick in your hand. That's all you're leaving with.
So is it
so
that
the belt,
way?
yeah.
Is it
the
that
Bellator,
way though? Really quick, is it that way? Because if you get paid $1 million for your fight, you're not going to fucking fight again.
You know what? So that's crazy you even bringing that up because I had a conversation. I forgot who it was with, but we were talking about maybe they're onto something by not paying them so much because they paid Conor everything, and Conor's like, well,
He's like,
fucking
"Yeah, fuck
buy.
this. I don't need this
He's
shit.
like, I don't
anymore."
want to. What the fuck? I'm not getting. Are you
I'm gonna
crazy?
run around a ring with Floyd
I'm not getting
Mayweather for
fucking-
$1
I'm not
million
getting
and
punched
then
in the
do coke
face
for the next
anymore.
3
Yeah,
years.
dude, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna do the Mike Tyson route. I'm gonna do the cocaine, fucking like the prostitute.
But how strange is it that a guy like Conor, who can work his way up for that long, get that money, get paid, and kind of lose interest, and then here's a guy over here who you're fighting for charity.
Yeah,
and stay
right.
stay
And
fit.
has more in-
It's like I don't even need. I'm doing this.
Everyone's driven by something else. I don't think Conor's gone anywhere.
That-
I think he's coming back. I think he played a little,
I think he's coming back, too.
He has legal issues, and we won't go into
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
I think he's coming back. The longer he's away, and when he comes back, that paycheck's going to be so much bigger.
Oh, I
It
agree.
is,
for
but,
sure.
But
I
how
agree.
is his performance? Like, you think he's going to come back the
I
same
do.
Conor?
I
Yeah?
wasn't a Conor fan when he started, and then
Yeah.
he just started fucking backing up every fucking thing he said.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to
same here.
see Conor come back just
The problem
because.
is he's a big 145er. If he stayed in that weight class, if he had the ability, he'd destroy everybody.
it's
As he
impossible.
moved up, and I think he's he's out of his league.
I
Yeah.
guess. The Bellator at the Forum. So I went to that fight.
Dude, you met everybody.
I went
met
to
all
the
of
fight this
Bellator.
weekend.
I saw that. I saw that
dude,
on social
on
media.
accident. Fucking Terry, my buddy Terry. Shout out to my boy
Weren't you
Terry.
sitting next to Mickey
Pino.
Rourke?
I
Mickey
said,
Rooney?
yeah, Mickey
Oh, wait.
Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
How
Dude,
do you
that
look?
guy,
How do you look?
like leather.
Has he ever had plastic surgery, you think?
No, not at all.
Or is that all?
It's all natural.
No, that's
that dude-
no. He
Maybe
saw
a
a
little
ghost.
bit.
He saw a ghost and just stayed like that.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck that
Maybe a
was.
few stem
He was
cells, that's
wearing
all.
like a tight hoodie with no shirt underneath.
That's his.
Yeah,
That's
his
his-
look.
that's the Hollywood
But
vibe.
dude, he's taller than I thought. He's like
I've
fucking.
always
dude, he's like
wondered-
fucking 6 feet.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've always thought when he saw him getting in the ring and he's doing the boxing shit, and I was wondering, I'm like, I wonder if I could kick his ass, but I don't know that I could.
He's
He
a legit
looks-
fighter.
yeah,
He's a
and
legit
he's-
yeah,
fighter. That's
yeah.
where it started.
He is, right?
That's where. Yeah,
In, like,
he
that
is a
wrestling
legit
movie.
fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's where
he's-
his plastic
big guy.
surgery started because he would get his nose broken, like cuts.
So he's
and
a
then it just-
legitimate boxer.
Yeah, he is. And then
Yeah.
it just kind of
He's-
spiraled out of
I-
And it
it.
looks
mean-
like it doesn't hurt. Like if you were to hit his face.
Nah, I don't think he
There's
has
no
any more
face.
It's just
feeling.
like no face
There's no feeling
expression,
left
like,
in,
just like,
in there,
all right.
which is kind of
That's it.
cheating at this point. I
Yeah,
assume.
that's bullshit. But he's not fine anymore.
Dude, fights were crazy. Shout out Terry Tapino. Terry hit me up in the middle of the night, 2:30 on Saturday, and he's like, "Hey, are you awake?" I'm like, "I am now." And he's like, "What's?" I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I won tickets over the radio to this Bellator fucking
That's
to
so
this
awesome.
Bellator fucking thing. Do you want to come? My wife doesn't want to come. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So we go down there, and they're like, "Oh, they're like, you have to sit here for this meet and greet." So I'm like, okay, who's the meet and greet? And they don't really tell us. So like, we take this elevator and we go down. It's fucking Hoist Gracie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. It was like Hoist Gracie. And I was like, this is cool, man. It's fucking Hoist Gracie. Shook hands with them and took a picture. And like, man, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really give a fuck. I wish it was someone that was like,
more relevant. Or,
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
You know,
It's
I was like,
but
fuck.
we've also
I
met
was
him.
all, I was, yeah, we have. I was excited going down. I'm like, man, I wonder who's gonna be the
Surprise.
Hoist Gracie. I'm like, fucking Hoist Gracie.
That's so
Oh,
fucked
man.
up. How dare you?
I don't
dude.
mean that in disrespect.
How
I'm
dare you.
saying like when you win something, like when you win
Put
something.
respect on his name.
I did. I respect Hoist Gracie. He was actually
It's
a
like
very.
Brian. What? There's a rock star we're gonna meet. All right, cool. It's Ray Charles. Oh, Ray Charles. What? Come on, he's a fucking icon.
Nah, that's a bad
James Brown.
example.
Oh,
Nah, a bad example. Because any one of those motherfuckers, I'd be so excited
Madonna.
to fucking meet. Even Madonna.
Did you ask him if the first UFC was fixed?
Oh man, probably.
You didn't go into the controversy. did
should
you?
Do you
ask.
think that it might have been fixed?
I think they orchestrated a beautiful display. It was basically an infomercial for jiu-jitsu.
So, like, they threw some tomato cans up.
No, I think if you
Hoist?
look at that time, and I'm not taking anything away from the Gracies. They're sort of the pioneers. But if you look at all the documentaries about the UFC 1 and those two, think about who they had, right? They had Henzo. They had all these people that were basically fucking killers, and they put Hoist.
Yeah.
Right? What if they would have put Henzo in, right? They would have, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu would have looked as if they were trying to, fake it, right? So they put the Gracie, who was great, but they put him in a time when nobody knew Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
Organized by the Gracie family against, you put him against
Oh,
a
I don't.
boxer,
That doesn't
sumo
sound
wrestler.
fixed. That just sounds like
That's what they did.
Good,
Well,
That's just
good
the fact
matchmaking.
of what they did.
That, to me, sounds Bellator.
I can
Full
see
circle.
that. I can
Full
see that.
circle.
But you know what? I'm with Bellator. I'm trying to say the nicest things because we have Bellator fighters that's been on the fight on the show before, but UFC is really where the competition is. Let's just be real about that. Like, if you really want to see how good you are, because we've had this conversation time and time again, where it's like, if you're the shit, I think that any Bellator fighter can go and fight someone in the UFC, and I think 9 out of 10 times they're probably not
Going
going
to get
to.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, but so I asked this question on another podcast, Fighting with Myself podcast, Juice, what's up? And his answer was Ryan Bader, who came from UFC over to Bellator, did okay in UFC, went over to Bellator, and he's the heavyweight. He fought at 205 in UFC. Now he's a heavyweight champion. And he said, like, there was one thing that Bader said, and it was, ironically, you just said this, that UFC is like show up, win. Like it's that much to show up and it's that much to win. So they would show up to win, but not to fight, but not to let loose, you know?
Yeah.
And like there was so much pressure to get that extra money if you didn't get that fucking money. So he said, like, once I got over, like, my last fight in the UFC, he won by flying knee, and he was like, it was my last fucking fight, I didn't give a shit. And just boom, whatever. And now he's over in Bellator. He got his sponsors back. He has his money. He feels good, comfortable. The pressure's not off.
Ben Henderson, right?
Ben Henderson is, dude, he's doing all right. He's doing
all right. He's not doing bad.
He had a rough
Doing all
start.
right.
No,
He had a
he
rough
did.
start.
My point is,
but he's
he walked away from the
He did.
UFC when
For
he was
that money.
still great for that.
Oh,
money.
So did Musasi.
Yeah.
And
and
those
those are
great.
people who walked away. They're like, I'm not gonna. I'm out. Like I'm not gonna. They didn't get kicked out because they sucked. or
No, they
anything. Like,
had enough.
They had enough. They're like,
Like-
yeah, I'm out.
And the pressure's off, and they fight better.
Rory
It's-
McDonald
it's-
too.
Rory McDonald, yeah.
Yeah, he left too. Ben was one of the first guys that's like, hey guys, I'm gonna take off. See what's
He
up.
was one of the first ones. Yeah.
yeah,
So
he was-
and that sucks
Oh.
because I think he had more pressure on him because it was like, what are you gonna do? And he
Think
didn't
about this.
do great in the beginning.
So
that
UFC
was frustrating.
UFC releases BJ Penn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Where's he going?
Surprised? Did you say you're surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised.
Oh, okay,
I'm like, where is BJ Penn
What's
going?
he do next?
Is
Please.
BJ because he still wants to fight.
Bare knuckle
Dude,
in Hawaii.
No,
Naga.
Bellator.
Sorry.
Does he go to Bellator?
Scott Coker is the biggest dick on the planet if he signs.
Scott
Penn.
Coker does
he
not
will.
give
Care.
a
He
fuck.
will,
dog.
doesn't he?
Dude, yeah.
He's like, does he want to
He's
fight?
like, yeah.
He's like,
Dude, bring
yeah.
him in.
Scott, you crossed the line if you
He
sign
wants
fucking
to
BJ.
fight, but he shouldn't.
No,
I
he
called.
shouldn't.
I was in Hawaii and I called in 2002 for a private lesson. They said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from the States." And they said, "It's $600 an hour."
So if you would have said,
I called back
you-
and said I was from the
from
local
Hawaii,
island.
yeah.
It was like $200.
"Jeez,
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Christ."
He's like, I'm
Like,
from the
fuck.
island, bro.
Yeah.
all
It's just, hey, man. That's the wrong island.
Wow, wrong island, bro.
Wrong island.
Yeah, but you
Are
know
you
what?
thinking
They're
about Jamaica?
Yeah, for sure.
You did Jamaican
Hey,
accent?
man.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're doing the wrong
yeah,
hand
this,
sign.
no,
yeah,
no.
this is
This
the right
is- this
thing.
is Hawaii.
This is Hawaii, but the
Thinking
accent
English
is
Hawaii.
Jamaica.
But hey, man,
Yeah,
it's
hi, man
Jamaica.
is Jamaica. Yeah,
You're really fucking
I'm not
this
from
up.
this country. I don't
No,
know.
he's not from this country, ladies and gentlemen. He is not from
Puerto
this
Rico.
country.
I mean, so-
What do you think FED stands for? Foreign exchange student.
exchange
Dude,
student.
yeah, I learned that on this podcast.
I know.
Dude,
And that's
I
his
got
pay.
3 guys who are like loving this sport. Somebody give me your rendition of what's going on with John Jones. Somebody tell me something. Somebody give me your impression. Just let it go because I know I'm going to get honesty.
An impression or like what's going on with John Jones?
Oh, you know exactly what I'm asking. Tell me what you think.
The
Just
cocaine?
tell me
Is
what you think.
it just coked up?
Oh, I think he's just coked. I think he's just coked out, and I don't think he should stop doing anything that he was doing
He
before.
needs to keep that train
Like,
going.
just you know what? Do everything. Just just calm down a little bit on the.
But just do it below
like-
the radar.
like
just
one line versus three? Like,
dude.
what do you
Just do
it
if he was
below
doing
the radar.
three. Yeah, if he was doing 3 lines, maybe
The
let's bring
only-
it down to 2.
Here's
Yeah.
the problem with John Jones. He started off like he's a bad motherfucker. He's the baddest motherfucker
On the
But-
planet.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
planet. But he started off with the every time you win, like I just want to thank Jesus Christ and my
Christ,
Lord and
yeah.
Savior.
Yeah.
Da, da,
They're
da.
like, fuck
so everybody,
you.
yeah. So
Come on.
everybody's like, oh, this guy's just a wholesome, blah blah. And then you find, and then, I mean, I've been following this. Like almost pre-internet, pre-Twitter, pre-everything.
Sure.
So I just like I would read on blogs on Yahoo way back in the day from fighters that would be in his camp or people that left his camp. Like this guy's fake. This guy's fake. This guy's fake. And I always just went no.
Chael
no.
Sonnen said that, right? He said he
Yeah,
was fake,
dude, tons of people, and so people just didn't believe it. But then all of a sudden he started getting popped. For drugs, for DUIs, whatever. So he is who he is. He's a party animal. He's not the dude that's in church every Sunday. He's got he has some kids and I think a wife or maybe a baby mama, whatever. Maybe he's a good dad. Maybe he's not. Whatever. But I think we've
Do you
all
think
decided.
cocaine? I'm just asking. Do you think cocaine gives him an advantage?
I don't think so.
I don't know, dude.
no.
I know everybody who's on
Just
cocaine
asking.
thinks they're on top of the world, bro.
You know who the fucking first person? So I remember
asking.
Chuck Liddell. I remember an interview a long time ago where Chuck Liddell, he had just beat Tito Ortiz, I think for the second time. And right after the interview, and again, kind of pre-internet, and he just told a reporter, he was like, dude, I was on ecstasy, fucking 2 chicks in the shower of my hotel room the night before. And then I woke up the next day and I beat Tito Ortiz.
Wow.
And I just went,
That's where that
damn.
ecstasy rumor
Wow.
came from.
Yep. No,
'Cause-
he said it out of his mouth.
I used to hear people say like, "Oh, dude, fucking Chuck's an
Dude,
a fucking
ecstasy.
all the time.
ecstasy.
He was like a Vegas crazy guy. Just
Like Wes is a good-looking guy, but like if I'm going against
you.
him, and he's on ecstasy. Probably not gonna, because he's probably gonna,
Yeah, he's gonna
rear
hump your
naked-
leg.
Yeah, rear naked chokes.
He's gonna hump your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get close to
fucking
it.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seen it
So
actually.
Have you?
I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
international waters or just here?
no
it was
internet.
just- it was
International.
fucking last weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think John Jones is doing anything that Chuck Liddell wasn't doing or one other guy before that just had the natural skills at the time to be better than everybody else. He's just having a good time. He's just, number one, he's getting caught, but number two, it's the world of social media. So everything you fucking do. And on top of that, he gets high, tweets some crazy shit, wakes up the next morning, deletes it, and
No,
900,000
he
people
deletes it
have
like
already
fucking
Yeah, like-
30 minutes later.
When the
every
coke
30
wears
minutes later,
off, on his
and
ass,
everybody's
second
already
line, he's
screenshot
dead.
it. Yeah.
Good thing neither of us, anybody here, has ever said
Ever done
something-
drugs. No.
No, has ever posted something late at night.
Oh,
Never done that?
Never.
I've never done
Never.
drugs.
Yeah.
Never
I,
posted.
Jesus
send a
Christ is
dick
my
pic
Lord
late
and
at
Savior.
night.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
when Wes used to fucking take pictures of his dick and put it on the internet and then delete it?
Yeah, yeah.
John, have you ever sent a dick pic?
I did, but I usually send other people's.
Oh, me too.
Well, that's why. So that way, if you get caught, you say that's not mine.
Yeah,
Someone just got a
dude.
mole.
Hey, that's
There's
fucking.
a tattoo.
Just a brown dick.
I used to
Like,
send
this is not
Alex's
yours.
dick.
There's a tattaoo. It's clearly
Is
got,
it a white dick though?
It's a tattoo.
You just send a
clearly-
black
It
dick.
clearly has a tattoo of a scorpion on the side of that cock. That's not my dick.
Yeah, that's
That
clear
one has
over
an open boil on the side. I have no
That's
open boils on my
yeah,
dick.
That one
It's not
has
mine.
it's all warty. Yeah.
The point is that once you get to the point where they actually see it, it's too late. They're going to get it anyway. So.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times dick pics. We've had dick pic conversations numerous times here. I think a dick picture. I've never taken a picture of my dick with a
sent it.
camera ever.
Have
Like,
you ever found a girl that actually likes dick pics? I don't
Yeah,
think-
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
had them
you
on the
have.
show.
That's
we had
how
him on the
my
show.
yeah,
Oh, you have?
yeah, we have.
Dude, we
Yeah.
ask every female guest that's on this show.
You like
Not
to,
you
all
get
of
dick
them,
pic?
not
No,
all.
do
No,
you-
no, but
well,
most of
maybe.
them.
I don't know.
Did
We
you
even
ask
asked
them if they
Tatiana Suarez.
enjoy dick pics?
Wait, it's never worked. Who Tatiana Suarez didn't say that.
Yeah, we asked her.
No, we
asked
didn't
her.
ask her.
We asked her. Yeah, and she was like, "No, not really dick pics, but feet. I get like weird
Oh,
feet
yeah,
stuff."
yeah, she
Feet
gets
request.
feet. She gets feet.
Yeah, those
yeah.
dirty Russians, bro. Those
We
are
always wanna
they're
know.
really in there.
We always want to
know.
know. Like we ask even
You're
a guy.
semi-famous. Do you ever have like
Puss pics?
groupies that'll
Puss
yeah,
pics?
or boob
Oh,
pics?
really?
Puss
Boob
pics?
pics, puss pics, boob
I
pics.
thought
I had somebody ask
You
me
get it
this.
on the DMs.
I get people to ask me to send them shit that I wore in training.
Oh, like
shit like
women
that.
or men?
Men.
Sell that
Man.
shit.
Wow.
No, sell
Signed
that
or
shit.
just
I
like
got to tell you, shit's flying off the shelves right now. Dude, fucking
Jesus Christ.
just
I have
sweating.
4 kids. It's fucking doing great
Like,
right now. But
dude.
that's another whole topic.
But
No.
seriously, really quick, like
Yeah, you get some shit.
Was there a point where where you just kind of exploded? Like when you won Worlds, did shit explode for you? Was there a point where you
Not a
just
lot
felt
of puss
like
coming through the jiu-jitsu community.
Jiu-jitsu world? All right.
Yeah,
All
so,
right.
but I would say, yeah, in your MMA community, you get people in like fucking Iowa somebody who's like on a farm somewhere will send you some shit.
Yeah.
Isn't there always like what do they call them? Like
There's a
gym
groupie
rats?
for
Like
Nothing against
groupies?
people from Iowa. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
Fuck you, Iowa.
Wow.
Is that too
funny.
much? I don't know what the line
It's
is.
funny. You could fight at a YMCA in a ring with a bunch of people with like a fucking Polaroid camera, and they would think you were some MMA superstar.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's
That's all
nice.
we need to get
That's
done.
what we need to go to
but it's
Iowa.
true.
Dude.
And I think it goes to this concept of how we view MMA fighters and all that. To your point,
Hmm.
you got guys that are making $2,000 and they trained a year just to have one fight in the UFC, and they walked away with $500, right? But they are we view them as these huge elaborate superstars.
You know what? As the years go by of us doing that show, I see what you're talking about.
They're more famous than they are rich.
Right.
Yeah. There was
yeah.
like a documentary about a guy that was hanging out with all these celebrities that was broke, but everyone thought he was like
Big man,
rich,
yeah.
big
He was
guy.
Instagram
So he started
famous.
selling drugs to all the celebrities because he was like, dude, I'm not making
He's like,
any
"Dude, I don't
money.
have any money.
He's like,
I was
all these
famous,
people think
not
that I'm
rich."
famous, but I'm not rich. I'm like, I'm barely making rent. So he's like, I just started
Who
selling
was
drugs.
it?
I
Yeah,
forget-
what-
Was he
I
a
wanna
black guy?
Yeah, black guy.
The guy from Blue Mountain State?
No.
No.
Him.
Yes, he was. He was selling oxys.
No, he was selling. He started selling like drugs to like celebrities because he would go to celebrity parties. He would be like
documentary.
next to Oprah and all this stuff, and like not maybe Oprah didn't do drugs, but you know,
Oprah's fucking just
Oprah's
on
just
Molly.
fucking cocaine it up.
Everybody
But yeah,
gets a Molly pill.
there's a you know kind of image that you sell on social media, and then there's a image that reality where like people see you and you're like, man, you must be fucking balling out of control, but not really, dude. I'm barely
I know.
making rent.
But there
feel
is
it.
a difference. Like there really is a difference between thinking somebody is world famous for just having one fight in the UFC and then just admiring that person. I definitely I don't think that everyone that comes on our podcast that we get to talk to or I see is famous, but the admiration is always there. Like
It's-
just to get
I
to
don't-
that platform,
yeah.
I know that was not fucking
Easy to
No,
do.
not at
worked
all.
your ass off.
and
Except for CM Punk.
That's more. Yeah, that's more.
Is he still under contract?
I don't know.
I
know.
think they might have dropped.
That's
him.
more what it's been for me as far as like my admiration for people doing it. Like I don't care if they're famous or not. Like I'm just like, dude, I like what you do. I want to
admire
talk to
what you
you.
do. Yeah.
I want to talk to you and
That's
see how
amazing.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is why our
Yes.
good friend John is in here today. And again, we'd like to thank you so much, sir, for doing
Yeah,
the show.
thanks for having me on. This show's amazing. Gives people a platform
hell
to
yeah.
just be themselves, right?
Fuck yeah.
So yeah.
And I appreciate that.
you can take your shirt
Come
off.
in,
Yeah,
take your shirt.
take your shirt off.
Just pop it off.
See, what I tell you?
Pop that
He's gonna
back.
try to
See,
harass
he's
you.
gonna try to do that.
I'm not even an
Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up before Wes gets another charge. We'd like to thank our special guest again, ladies and gentlemen, John Valentine.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for doing the show, sir. Again, like, subscribe on our social media, on iTunes, and on SoundCloud. On iTunes, we are The Donkey Show Podcast. On Instagram, we are Donkey Show Podcast. Leave a comment, even if it's like, dude, fuck Wes.
Dude, in the MMA community podcast community, you're just hashtag the shits.
Well, thank you. Fuck yeah,
I don't know if
dude.
that's your hashtag.
No, we'll take
Yeah,
it.
we'll take it. We'll do
though.
that's a new one. Yeah, we'll do it.
We are The Donkey Show Podcast, aka hashtag the shits, and we are out.